What gets me most excited about this film is the storyline, it's the plot. It's something that you've never seen before. For once, Hogwarts, which is always this very secure, very stable place, which, Harry, Ron and Hermione know they can always go to sort of for safety, and as long as they're in Hogwarts and as long as Dumbledore's there, then they're safe. In this film and in this story, Hogwarts is not somewhere that's safe. The Ministry has decided that they're going to take over parts of Hogwarts, they're going to interfere, they're going to put up new rules, and it's scary and it's dangerous. The textbook she's giving them, they did about 4 or 5 years ago. They are basically just writing lines every single lesson. It's patronising, it's frustrating, and especially for Hermione, because she is so, her whole life revolves around her exams and her books and her schoolwork, and for her OWLs to not be feeling like she's learning what she needs to know, but even more importantly than that, for all of the students to not be learning what they need to learn to defend themselves in a time when I think there's a lot of political unrest. Voldemort is said to have returned, and they're sitting in the classroom writing lines when they want to be learning how to defend themselves because they feel scared and unsafe. I mean, it's kind of about them rebelling against Umbridge and her kind of dictatorship, really. But mainly it's because they're scared. They're really, really scared. And they know that if they're not learning spells, if they're not being allowed to use their wands by Umbridge, then they're unable to defend themselves. And while the Ministry is in denial that Voldemort has returned, they are not. And they believe Harry, and they know that there's something dark and horrible and scary out there, and they want to be able to defend themselves. And Harry is an extremely talented wizard. He's obviously been through a lot. He's had a lot of actually real experiences against him, and so he's really valuable to them. It's the first time that she recognises that actually doing what you're told all the time is not really, I don't know, sometimes it doesn't quite work, and sometimes you can't always trust authority. You have to trust yourself and your own head, and so it's really cool that she really believes in herself, and in many ways she's a really big leader in this. She really she comes up with a lot of the ideas behind it. She's really, pushing Harry around, pushing Harry into it in a way, which is not good, but it turns out for the best. So yeah, it's a good story for Hermione. I actually think her confidence in many ways was slightly destroyed in the last one, but it's funny, she gets it back in this one, and it's quite well represented in a scene in the Room of Requirement. Dumbledore's army meeting, and they're practicing some spells, and Ron comes up and says, "Oh yeah, it's alright, I'll go easy on you," and Hermione just, it's patronising, it's sexist, it's just everything that she is completely against, and just absolutely just takes him out completely and utterly. Just yeah, so it's a good girl power moment. It's a good regaining of her self-confidence.